Hello parents and boys and girls, welcome to Ommy'z World. I am Ommy. Today we're going to talk about special plants. We're going to talk about fierce plants. Did you know that fierce plants have special parts to protect them when they grow in rough places? They do. We're going to talk about a few of those fierce plants. The number one plant we're going to talk about is the Venus flytrap. So stay with me. Welcome back, and as I said, we're going to talk about a special plant called the Venus flytrap. Some plants have to get tough to meet their needs. Did you know that like all living things, plants have basic needs? Just like you have basic needs that need to be met in order for you to survive. Well, you probably know that plants need water. What else? That's right, sunlight. And some of the other things that plants need are nutrients and energy and minerals and protection. I bet you're asking, why do plants need protecting? Because there are animals and people like you and I who will want to eat them. In an environment where a plant grows, the environment has to supply the things that the plant needs in order for it to grow and live, or the plant's going to die. Some environments are better than others for different types of plants. Think about a weed when it grows out of the crack of a sidewalk, the soil isn't very deep or rich, nonetheless. Oh, and the sidewalk is really hot, but the weed must be able to adapt and grow, and many times they are. Not many times, but most all times the weed is very good at adapting and growing in that environment. But I do know this, that there are times when you can go and pull that weed right out of the sidewalk, and you might get all of the roots, and other times you will not get it. It depends on how long that plant or that weed has been growing there. It has made an adaptation to that location or that environment that it is living in. Weeds must be ideal to grow in harsh environments, similar to the cactus. Think about the cactus. Where does the cactus grow? Exactly, it grows in the desert. The thing about the cactus, what does it do to protect itself? And why does it need to protect itself? And what are some of the basic needs for a cactus? Let's think about a cactus. A cactus living in a desert, we already know that the desert doesn't get much what? Exactly, it does not get much rain. So if it doesn't get much rain, then how does the cactus survive? Well, the cactus is built for the desert. The cactus only needs a minimum amount of water, and what the cactus can do is when it rains at different times in the desert, which is far in between few, it gets the water that it needs, it soaks it up, and it stores it. It stores the water to be released at a later time when the cactus needs water. But why does the cactus need to be protected? Because there are special animals that are in the desert that also needs water. So they look for that cactus. They know that the cactus can store the water, and so the animal will try to eat the cactus because of the water. But cactus has a special thing, special parts that grow on it to protect it. What are those special things? Spines, exactly. The cactus has hundreds and hundreds of small, prickly spines on them that will help to store or ward off animals and insects from eating it. Now, it doesn't stop all of the animals and insects, because there are some animals who are just as rough and tough, and they don't have a problem with eating the spines of cactuses. Nonetheless, for those animals that are quick, or insects that are quick to attack the cactus, cactus has a mechanism to fight off those animals so that it can survive and live. How about that? Who knew that a plant needed to be protected? Well, today we're going to focus a little bit more on another special plant called the Venus flytrap. If you've ever heard of the Venus flytrap, raise your hand. If you've ever seen a Venus flytrap, raise your hand. Okay, a few of you have. Well, like all plants, the Venus flytrap needs some special energy. We call it a photosynthesis. See how Mrs. Miller said it? A photosynthesis, okay? I had to make my tongue stick out a little bit. And all plants need these essential nutrients and minerals and nitrooxygen. Usually plants get these things from soil. I wonder how a Venus flytrap, or where the Venus flytrap got its name from. Do you know? Let's break the word down. Venus flytrap. We're going to talk about why that flytrap is on the name of this plant. The Venus flytrap eats insects. What kind of insects do you think the Venus flytrap eats? Flies. Very good, very good. Do you think that the Venus flytrap chews its food like you chew your food? No. Venus flytrap has some special things. It doesn't chew like an animal or an insect, and it doesn't swallow like an animal does. But it has 3 special steps that describes what the Venus flytrap does in order to get its nutrients from insects. The first thing it does is attracts. If you've ever heard of a magnet, and when you put metal close to a magnet, it sucks it up really quick, that's kind of like attracting something to itself. And so the Venus flytrap, it has these special leaves that produce a sweet nectar. And this nectar attracts insects. The insect can almost smell it and know, there's something sweet over there and I'm going after it. So the fly does that. It's looking for something to eat. And when it smells that sweet nectar from the Venus flytrap, it draws itself right in. That's the word again, attract. A-T-T-R-A-C-T, attract. So when the fly is attracted to the Venus flytrap, it then lands on its jaw-like leaves. Wait a minute, Mrs. Miller. Jaw-like? Yes. The Venus flytrap has what is called a jaw-like leaf. And I'm going to show you. It kind of looks like this with these spines. And my fingers are representing the spines. And the palm of my hand is representing the jaw. And so it closes like that. The first thing it does, it attracts the fly. By what? The sweet nectar. Exactly. And then the fly lands on the what? That's right, the jaw-like leaves. Then step 2, trap. You got it. After it attracts it to him, then it traps him. How does it trap him? When an insect steps on the trigger hairs. Trigger hairs? Exactly. The Venus flytrap in its jaw-like leaves has special little trigger hairs that are standing up, waiting to be notified when a fly has entered its territory. And when that fly is sucking up all that sweet nectar and it just so happens to brush past one of those trigger hairs, guess what happens? The leaf instantly closes. Did you see that? Let's try it at home. Put your palms together like this. Get your spines ready and wait patiently. And as soon as that fly touches one of those triggers, whoop, it closes the fly inside. Exactly. The leaf has 2 halves. It instantly closes over the insect, and the long spines of the edge of the leaf traps the insect inside. So number 1 is attract. The second word was trap. T-R-A-P. Trap. So we've got attract and trap. Then the third thing that happens, digest and absorption. So you see it didn't say chew. Nope. The fly trap doesn't chew its food like you and I do. Instead, it has something else that's similar to us. It has glands that gives the leaf these juices that digest the soft parts of the insect. So just like we have saliva, that when we put food in our mouth, that saliva helps to soften that food. It's the same thing that happens with the Venus flytrap. It has these special glands inside its leaves that releases some juices, and those juices then help to suck out all the soft parts of the insect, but it leaves the hard parts. What happens to those nutrients? The nutrients from the insect's body are then soaked into the leaf's trap. How cool is that? 3 things attract, the nectar attracts it. Number 2, traps it. Once that fly touches that trigger hair, those long spines and that jaw-like leaf closes in and traps it inside. And once it's inside, the juices from the glands of the leaf, are released to soften the soft parts of the fly, and then it is soaked up by the leaf's trap. How about that? One other thing I want to tell you about the Venus flytrap. You just can't find it just anywhere. There are special places for this special plant to grow. One of those special places, or 2 of those special places, is in North Carolina and South Carolina. And it's a special place called bogs. The bogs. B-O-G-S. The bogs is a very wet, swampy, soily place that has lots of, just lots of mush and muck. But it lacks some soils and minerals for other plants to live. But the Venus flytrap has adapted itself to live in the bog. And it is a carnivorous plant, meaning like a carnivore. It eats what? Meat, flies, and insects. Exactly. The Venus flytrap is not the only plant in the bog that can eat insects. There are 3 other ones that I know of. One is called a bladderwort. A bladderwort kind of has a whole bunch of little leaves with a lot of little stems up. Then the next one is the sundew. The sundew it's kind of looks like a cactus to me. It stands up straight and it has a lot of spines that stick out. And then the last one that I saw before in Virginia is called a pitcher plant. A pitcher plant looks just like a pitcher of water. It's shaped, but it has that funnel. And what I saw in the restaurant is they keep it close to the door because when the flies come in, the nectar attracts it right to the pitcher plant. And what that plant does is attracts that fly. After it attracts it, it traps it, and then it sucks out all of the nutrients. Very good. All right, so let's go back over it. There were 3 special ways that the Venus flytrap gets her food. What's the first thing she does? Exactly, she attracts. She attracts with her nectar. What's the second thing she does? Yes, she traps him. Exactly. Good job with her jaw-like leaf hands with her spines here, and she traps him up. Exactly. The hairs, the trigger hairs. That's what helps her to know that there is an intruder on board. And then the third thing she does, exactly, she soaks up and digests and absorbs all of the good nutrients from the fly. Very good. We talked about one other plant that protects itself. What's that plant? Exactly, the cactus. Why does the cactus need to protect itself? Because other animals who need water will attack it because the cactus knows how to store water. The cactus and Venus flytrap, there are very, very special plants. They are called fierce plants. Those fierce plants have special parts to protect themselves. Even though the Venus flytrap and the cactus is a very fierce plant and they protect themselves, they're still plants and they have basic needs. Who remembers some of those basic needs? You're right, water. What else? Exactly, they need nutrients. Anything else? Yes, sunlight. Very good. Photosynthesis. Excellent job. And one of the things that we talked about that's very, very important for all plants is they have to have a way to do what? Protect themselves. Very good. The cactus protects himself with their spines. The Venus flytrap protects herself or theirself with those trigger hairs. Very good. Take a look around your neighborhood. See what other plants that you see that are around you. Find out ways that they protect themselves. Find out how that plant eats what happens to them? Are those the same type of plants who have to adapt to the neighborhood or the location that they live in? That's a very good question. I'm going to post a video in the bottom of the chat, and I want you to check it out. It's a cool video. It's about 3 minutes long about the Venus flytrap. Thank you for joining me today for Science in Ommy'z World, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.